Thank you, Chris. We can certainly understand why you were chosen by the Georgia Youth Leadership Council representative by your peers, and we wish you the best in your future and all your endeavors. As a year goes by, it's sure good to be standing before you today at the end of my year, or the end of my 2 years. Looking around at y'all, it reminds me of a story they tell in our co-op of an old cotton farmer in Henry County in the Kellytown district. He was one of the original members of our co-op. It was in the late 30s, and he had had a long streak of bad times, starting with the boll weevil, the Depression. Things had been tough for a long time, but they had slowly started getting better. He told his wife that he finally had a little extra money and he'd like to take the family to the Southeastern Fair. And I don't know how far back a lot of you go, but the Southeastern Fair was a big deal. Its site today is where the Lakewood Amphitheater is at. The wife told him that if he thought they could afford it, she would certainly love to go. So the next morning they got up, they milked and they fed, had breakfast. He sent his oldest son to the barn to get the old big stake body truck, and they all piled in. The farmer, his wife, and their 21 kids. They got to the fair, and they had a wonderful time. They rode all the rides. They went through all the exhibit halls. They had cotton candy. I mean, they went first class. They had cotton candy for each child. And that's a lot of cotton candy. As it got on later in the afternoon, the farmer looked at his happy family and he said, well, it's time we get back to Kellytown because we got to feed the animals. So they started walking back toward the truck, and right there in the midway, they saw this big canvas tent. And on the side of it, it was painted, "World's Biggest Bull." And the farmer, he just stopped in his tracks. And he told his wife, he said, I'm just a poor farmer from Henry County, and I might not ever get a chance to show my kids the world's biggest bull. So they got to looking around and counting their money. So they got it in line. They got up there to the ticket taker. And he told him, he said, we'd like to go in, my wife and I and our children, and see the world's biggest bull. The ticket taker, he looked down there. He said, are all those children yours? And he said, no, sir, just the first 21 are. He said, mister, no charge. I want that bull to see you. As I stand here today, I feel a lot like that ticket taker. I want that bull to see you. I'm proud of our Georgia GEMC. I'm proud of our Georgia cooperatives. I'm proud of our management and employees. And I'm proud of our co-op members across this state and all the great things that they're doing in their communities. Sometimes I think we're so focused on doing the good work of keeping our power reliable and the rates low that we don't pause to realize what a great system of co-ops that we do have. Let's give Georgia's co-op a round of applause as we celebrate the 75th year of our anniversary. I heard someone say that we're all born standing on the shoulders of our parents and our grandparents. If it weren't for their hard work, commitment, and sacrifices, we would not be here where we are today. That's doubly true for Georgia GEMC and our cooperatives. In this business, our successes and failures always have their roots in decisions we made years and even decades ago. The decisions we make today as board members will only prove their worth and value over time. About a month ago, we had a board strategic planning session at Shoals. I asked the staff to report on us, the problems, successes, and opportunities, and to explain how the previous decisions we had made contributed to these realities. It was really helpful to look through the present through the lens of the past. There are those who say, don't look back, but I think they may be foolish. If we don't know where we came from and what brought us to this point, how can we possibly know where today's choices may lead us decades into the future? Our world of electric co-ops is facing a very uncertain future, but hasn't that always been the case? There will always be problems to solve and hard decisions to make. Our job as board members is to provide our cooperatives with great management and employees to help us make the best decisions, and we can pray for God's grace, His guidance, and His mercy. That's all we can do, but thankfully that's enough. GEMC is in a time of transition to a new CEO. I am confident that we have found the right person. Will this person be Paul Woods? No, but it will be what we need going forward. I'd just like to thank all the board members across this state, all the employees of Georgia EMC, for your encouragement and your support and prayers over the last 2 years, and especially over the last few months, because my wife has had some health issues, and I can report she's doing well, and her prognosis is wonderful, and we have felt every one of those prayers. The executive committee, we've spent a lot of time together. I feel that special bond with y'all. I thank each one of you for all that you've contributed to making this year a success. Monica, you're so organized. You helped keep me in line. I appreciate you. And Paul, I don't know what else anybody could say with you, but I'm just proud that I can say I was your last board chair. I appreciate you.